them, and Boston right now showing the exact same, well, not the exact same level of play, but the exact same fierceness that they are bringing into the map. The cheeky spot will always be a power position, though, so off the opening break at the old P1, which we're still playing on here in the CDL, looks like Boston will have that very small but early advantage in the time. Obviously, though, just a trade fest around this point. Subliners fighting and maintaining a very small lead.
Capsule still fighting for this one as well. Both teams just throwing bodies at it every single place. There's Sky's alive, but he knows pressure is coming. And it is confirmed as they walk through that door, but he has reinforcements, so they keep them off the back. And Boston will now have to start thinking about rotation.
And that rotation is going to be key as well, because a player like Sib is going to be here first. And if you get a trophy down, you can see the output and damage that Sib can do. He can be destructive. He's going to have a little battle against Priesta, and how sweet that battle is going to be. The Hill's going to pop first, though. Subliners will be here first. You actually see Priesta setting up and waiting for it. You just had literal simultaneous parallel spawns, by the way. No reason for it to happen, but it does. You at least drop Hydra, and that does leave Sib as your last man standing. And you also have to read these palace spawns as well. So right now, it's just white time on the Hill. Boston with a little bit of pressure on. Sib, though, does get dropped, and that is a clean wipe from Boston, who are also spawning him in the back.
Boston finally get a bit of control here. Snoopy, I think he recognized there a little bit of a dangerous position for him. Eventually backs out, still gets caught by Skies. Pressure here from New York. Capsule wants a bit of reinforcements, but fortunately they have locked them down here, and he turns away at the wrong moment. Going to lose that scrap time unless Snoopy can just hit a banger, but he can't. Down he falls as well.
Oh my god.
Rotation, spawns, everything is chaos still.
Well, 4 players, 2 players on 2 different teams just spawn up at Palace at the same time, but that isn't, like, that's almost typical of what we expect at Palace Hill. I think of a Sib that just spawns out, though. Like, Priest was actually back around, like, the treehouse. Sib kind of spawns next to him, so you're just getting gifts and chaos all over the map right now. The Subliners are trying to take full advantage of. They get the rotation over towards Showers. You get Sib posted up in the Hill, and you get Kismet in the spot that is effectively just a guaranteed one, or Snoopy is just a god on the map. And Boston are just sprinting at you on the Hill now.
Well, Sib is weak, but fortunately Skies will back him up as well. Boston had an opportunity. That opportunity has fallen with those kills. Slasher already walking to the street, finds Skies as well. More pressure falling through. Sib going to try and get him, but Slasher gets that for the scrap time. Nobody is safe anywhere on this map.
No, not at all, but that is an important break for Boston to get, but they have to continue that into the rotation as well. Kismet's going to be in between 2, delivers for number 1, gets out with his life, and should have time to regen as well. And more importantly, his teammates just started picking up all of the kills. Priesta gets caught as well. So New York Subliners in that moment stop any bit of bleeding they might have experienced and are going to be fully set up around this Treehouse Hill. It's going to be a very difficult one for Boston to try to break.
You see, again, New York here first. Boston have performed magic so far on their breaks, but this may be a step too far. Already you can see the pressure trickling through the rubble. They're trying to get the bodies in position, but there are guns in every bit of concrete on this. Hydra finds one, dumps out as well. There's nowhere for them to go. He goes for the reach out on the Snoopy. Snoopy finds all the guns of New York arrayed against him. There's just, oh, never mind. Snoopy might be a cat. He's got 9 lives. Eventually falls to Hydra. But it isn't about this hill anymore. The rotation is up and Boston are dug in.
I mean, it's such a tough situation, though, for Boston. You have to give away a full 60 on the Treehouse Hill because you have to make sure you lock down Palace before you end up getting chained. So it is now a massive lead. Even a full 60 does not get Boston back in this game. And Capsule falls before the Hill actually pops. Is going to spawn nearby, though, so no damage done in that moment. But a bit of a turtle right now for the breach. New York, they have a ton of pressure on the front line. Sib's going to keep that lifeline alive as the Subliners doing what they can. And if you kill the guy out of the Hill, that might be enough for the potential break. Slasher is going to be by his lonesome for quite some time.
Well, fortunately, Slasher is a veteran. Just got to hold the right angle here. You can already see a player winding their way through. Kismet is in Palace, and he is hunting. Slasher must call this correctly. And I don't know what happened. Kismet gets him.
Well, look, we might have missed the most important gunfight potentially of this map, but you still have the battle inside, and Kismet does not deliver, so maybe not the most important. It's only a break. You strip away an extra 10 to 15 seconds, so it's a nice play. You stop the full 60. In the meantime, of course, New York Subliners have once again rotated back over towards P1, so got about a 50-point lead right now in this game. Sasha versus Sib, though, turns into a trade. It'll be Boston who actually, in spite of that early rotation, get to the time first.
Oh, they need this as well. It seems like New York have been a little bit ahead apart from that Palace Hill on the rotation so far in that first set. Boston, they need to just close that gap and get there and make sure they lock in some time. And they're doing this on P1 right now. Priester flies through, keeps himself alive as well. There are many trophies in here for New York. None here for Boston yet.
Yeah, Priester's moving too. I think he got the intel that Skies was actually able to cross over towards AS&D, but intel is one thing, Gunny's another, and Skies with a pistol able to drop him, and the headshots rain through as well. I don't know if this is time that Boston necessarily want to give up on. Capsule is going to be forced to sort of set up on this rotation. That is a lot of scrap time on a P1. New York will be happy for it. They've actually left 2 players at this old time. So you have Snoopy that's going to go play with it. He's going to get taken down. So you make sure you secure all that scrap. You maintain more than a 60-point lead going into new, and you apply that pressure. Boston are forced to play nearly perfectly on this P2, and that's certainly a good start. A 3-man wipe. That is the first wave. Absolutely devastated. They're going to get a good chunk of time. The question is, can they make it perfect, or can Subliners get a break?
Yeah, full of urban warfare here now for New York. They're trying to get through. They've already found a few kills. Capsule falling without a trade. It gives them all the bodies they need to break through this as well. Kismet putting the pressure on. He finds a kill as well. Sasha now has to look many directions, but don't worry about it. There's a laser on that gun, and it is aimed at New York. Hydra goes for his chance as well. Had to reload from Slasher. Bodies pouring in from Boston. Capsule to the rescue. And it looked a little bit dicey for a second, but they held their nerve.
Well, they held the nerve, but at the same time, it's like a bunch of these little plays potentially that could add up for New York, right? The gunfight, Kismet's win in the Palace Hill strips away about 10 to 15 seconds. They actually had a ton of white time on this hill that they strip away from Boston as well. So maybe the little things add up, but either way, Boston certainly fighting. Not quite a tied game, but certainly close to it going towards new. New York Subliners, as that rotation battle, they're going to get there first. Boston, the onus on them again to try to make this break.
See if they can do it. Long-range gunfight. Subliners, after the devastating loss in the last one, have felt a little bit better on this. Let's find out how the comms are, though, with the New York Subliners. Listen in.
Mannequin, push you or pitchy.
Yeah, I'm watching mannequin.
ASD, wants to go deep river? Deep
Watch
river,
my cross. I can watch my mannequin from time. Are you already mannequin?
Yeah,
I have your cross. I have your cross. I have your cross.
I'll cross you, they could be divided. Yo, an ASD. ASD person. ASD person weak.
Deep left. Deep
So
left.
when you guys bump over the help, the Paco, I can't watch you.
Bump over to help teaser on me on the left.
Yeah, they're gonna come from far.
One shot. Caution you.
ASD weak. ASD weak.
Snoopy weak in time. Weak in time.
Play new. I'm pushing broken. You have broken already, Paco? Yeah. They're gonna come from DVD, guys.
Jump on scout.
You don't know me, that's anything.
I'm gonna get inside your blue.
I have new guys.
DVD.
Watch my low. I'm in broken.
DVD, beat on.
They be behind me, guys? It could be in red.
I'll get your low. I'll clear your low.
The whole broken across. We went off this, okay?
I'm clearing your low. Yo, what got DVD on me? He's gonna push me. Oh, he got me low. He came our side. Last year, he's in L.
Low.
It's a big one.
Broken on me, dead. Low on me. He's in the window. Window on me, guys.
Let's try mannequin.
On my stairs, guys. One shot,
mannequin.
And fire from Snoopy, and the call has already been made. New York said, we win off this. Boston did not rotate again. They have to try and make a break, but this break means even more because it's going a game 5. They get it, but Hydra's on a 6 streak. I was going to say 5, but it's 6 already. Priester still firing, though. They still have to make this. They just have to contest and get into Palace just to keep the game alive, Chance.
And they're going to need to contest for maybe like 2 or 3 seconds as well. So someone's going to have to find a way into the point. And they're flooding in the meantime to make this happen. And look at Priesta on the minimap. He feels the pressure. He's going to flood in. That's the timing for Hydra to potentially win the rotation, which he does. So even if this game doesn't end on old, which Boston do make the break here, Hydra is still that thorn in your side.
Here's the gunfight. Hydra versus Slasher. Wow. Oh my goodness, somebody has given him a portable radar where Hydra is. Every time he knows where the Frenchman is lurking. But Boston, even with the plays by Slasher, Kismet is now sending himself. The Bulldog finds one. The pressure's still on. Boston cannot win on this hill either.
And look, man, he's just a ghost as well. He's going to disappear, and that's just Subliners get the opportunity to run through the middle of the map because everybody inside the hill is watching their own backs. Capsule wins a big one, but he does get traded, and Subliners in the point eventually able just